I want my next guest's opinion as well. I think our American CEOs are being a tad Pollyanna-ish, if there is such a word, when it comes to the effect AI is going to have on the American workforce. This next story, I think, supports my view because it says that the top earners are more afraid for their employment than lower income as the AI threat is increasing. I understand that. And some of these higher earners they're data gatherers, right? Which is basically what AI does. Some of them interpret the data that they gather and make a business decision, which is also what AI does. So ADP, remember that group, ADP? They echo my sentiments by saying that this is a payroll processing firm. They note that the turnover among traditionally white-collar occupations is around record lows. Nobody's leaving their jobs right now. I'd like to hear my next guest's views on this. So please welcome into the show Ms. Rebecca Walser, Walser Wealth Management, Tampa, Florida. Thanks for coming on. I've been traveling a lot around the country talking to people, and Rebecca, they always bring you up. They love what you have to say on the show, so we really appreciate you. But this is a touchy one because you don't want to sound, like you're doom and gloomish, but at the same time, I understand why the CEOs don't want to say anything real negative either. But I just have to take a look at what the CEO from Anthropic AI said, as well as what Musk keeps saying. And the difference this time around is, I don't want to say it's different this time around because I think that's also kind of a cliche, but we've always had technology that kind of assisted the worker, right? It was an add-on to the worker. It helped the worker. And I feel like this artificial intelligence that we're now rolling out, it's specifically being designed to replace the worker, not aid the worker. What say you?
So I would say that you're 1,000% correct. And it is such a strange place to exist in. It's a weird space to exist in, Scott, because the truth is, if you look at 2025's market, AI and these partnerships, these, OpenAI, Anthropic, all of these things everyone was so excited about. Then you turn the page to 2026 and it's like, oh, wait. We're waking up to the fact that AI is actually a threat to software as a service or a subscription, a threat to financial services, a threat to cyber. AI is a threat to cybersecurity companies. What? So the bottom line is exactly. How do you go out there and start to say, oh, no, this is overblown? The truth is that the routing to the downside of software companies, financial services, it is the long-term truth. Eventually, we will have total disruption of the way things currently are as status quo. And that includes the workers. And I think what's happened is that workers are starting to realize, oh, this actually is going to impact my job. A trend that we've seen in the employment figures is that not necessarily layoffs per se, but as attrition happens naturally, as people retire, as people leave to get another job, they're not replacing those people. So I think that what's happening, Scott, to your point is white collar workers are saying this is starting to impact us now. I can't afford to leave. I might not get another job. In fact, you're not going to leave unless you know you have another employment offer secure, because you don't know what's going to happen. And so it's really hard for me to come on here and say, just ignore it. This is overhyped, overblown. The stocks have been oversold. The positions have been, the industries have been overly routed out, because the truth is that is the eventuality, but I cannot prognosticate accurately on the time frame. It's the time frame question that we need to understand. And then the other thing that we should be doing, Scott, and it starts with white collar, but it certainly morphs to blue collar, is we need to figure out what are we going to be able to continue to contribute from a human capital perspective to GDP. And we need to focus on getting there as fast as possible, because we don't want to be displaced without a skill set that we can continue to manage to control income. When you go away from being able to control your income, you get into a UBI situation, and you and I both know how that plays out. That's the government basically controlling everything that we do because they control our income.
It makes, I totally agree with you. And so you're right. And so something that we talked about earlier in the show, like we now have this word affordability that they've hijacked on the left. But another one that we don't talk about enough, Rebecca, is the fact that humans are really good at adapting. That's how come we're still alive, right? And this adaptability is going to be part of the talk going forward, I think, as well. Because not only do I not want to sit here and tell everybody that the world is going to end tomorrow with AI, because I don't think it's going to, but I definitely feel as though you're going to have to adapt. There's no way you're going to be able to stand still and let things happen around you. But by adapting, I want to tell everybody else the things that I think going forward that are going to be valuable is, number one, that ability to adapt, but also number two is that I know maybe you do too. When I get an email or I read something, I can tell if it's AI generated. All right, you just can tell. And if you are genuine, if you're truly genuine, if you're genuine and you can adapt, those two things together will probably put you in a much better spot than people that put their head in the sand and don't want to know what's happening around them.
I totally agree. I mean, the answer is a solution that we don't see crafted yet. And to your point, people are going to have to really figure out what their skill set is and how can they adapt individually, and that's what's going to have to happen. But so sorry, a little cold, still trying to get over it. But anyways, it's the bottom line is get comfortable with change because dynamicism is coming.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and that's why if you are, and I say this to a lot of people, and I'm not trying to, there are going to be some fields that change, they go away, but you're still going to need a guy to, hang a door or somebody that's going to have to build something. And maybe that gets obfuscated away, 10, 20 years from now. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. But I do feel as though working with your hands or the trades or things like that, or saying even in our industry, being genuine, being a genuine person, because I think that that's going to have greater and greater value as things get more and more commoditized because of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is going to commoditize a lot of things, and you'll be able to tell. And not everybody wants to have oatmeal for breakfast every single day for the rest of their life. They want to have some change up. So I think being genuine is going to help with that, and I think that that's going to slowly but surely kind of rise to the top.
I'll say two things. I want to say that I do believe, as you believe, that blue collar will be impacted after white collar and all of that thinking stuff. What AI can do for you is obviously on the forefront first. But you know what, Scott, blue collar is not far behind. And the reason for that is look at Robotaxi, Elon Musk Robotaxi with Tesla. That is a full-on autonomous robot that's dealing with real-time traffic conditions and adjusting. So if we can do that, I think we can figure out welding, plumbing, HVAC, all of those things. Although it will come after, I definitely agree. And I do also want to say, while we have 2 seconds, thank you so much for having Carla, guest host, on Friday. I was so excited to join her and talk about women in finance and have that opportunity to really say, hey, women out there, if you love math or business, this is a field for you. Please consider it, because we definitely need more female representation in finance, because, we're just great at this role. So just want to tout our own horns.
All right, well, I tell you what, you could not have mentioned 2 more genuine people too. So that's fantastic. Really appreciate having you both on. Thank you very much, Rebecca, for coming on today. Rebecca Walser with Management